Yep, that's me and my family attempting to sleep in the Denver airport after our flight was delayed multiple times. In moments like this, we have to choose how to respond to our situation. My natural instinct is to share my plight and look for your sympathy because of how bad things have been. As I'm lying here, however, I'm thinking about Psalm 118:24, which says, "This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it." We all have to choose how we respond to conditions in life, and right now I can either dwell on the negative or choose to appreciate the positive.
Well, it doesn't look quite as good as the photo, but it's still delicious. Pretty good.
Why does it feel so negative right now? Let me show you how this weekend started. End up sitting down. I haven't even set my camera up yet. I just got my chips. I'm sitting down in the 2-5 game at the Paris and gonna play some WSOP cash games. Get dealt aces right away. Woo! Let's start this weekend right. So I end up 3-betting a pre-flop raiser. I get called by the big blind, and the big blind ends up calling $80 pre-flop. We go to a flop, which is 4-9-6 rainbow. He calls when I continuation bet. We go to a turn, which is a deuce. He calls another big bet, and we go to the river, which is a 5, and he throws in his last $200. I make the call, and of course he has deuce 3 suited and has made the straight. So that was the beginning of our weekend. Before I even have a chance to put my camera on the table, we're stuck and we've lost to 2-3 suited, calling an $80 pre-flop bet. Oh, ugly, ugly, ugly. Anyway, that's where we started, and it somehow managed to go downhill from there. As I'm lying there in the middle of the night, I start thinking about, why do I play this game? What do I love about it? Do I still love it even when I'm losing? It's really easy in poker to get focused on the money. The money is either things are going great and you're happy and you're having a lot of fun, or you're losing and it sucks and poker's terrible. That's not the reason I enjoy poker. It's not the reason I love poker. The reason I love poker is the people. The game is amazing. I love that. But without people and interactions, I don't think poker would be as great as it is. And from that perspective, this weekend was awesome. I just want to say hey to everybody that I met this weekend. It was tons of fun talking with you at the table. First of all, met up with Jerry Harris, grabbed lunch together, talked some poker, talked some YouTube, and it was really cool to meet up for the first time in person. Super cool. Secondly, got to meet up with Malik from California, sat at a 3-5 table at the Venetian, and we bet the over-under on bonus hands to see how long they would hold. And I will tell you that almost $12 were exchanged in the process. I met Adam playing 5-10, who filled me in on East Coast poker. He beat me in every bomb pot we got involved in. So Adam, your bomb pot skills are insane. Good talking with you, good to meet you. I met Eli at Mandalay Bay, who is a maniac. Eli threw down $8,000 on a soccer game and won $17,200. Our collective blood pressure was way up at the table. We were all sweating it with him, and he was losing his mind.
And friend told me, show me, I'm gonna show you now. I'm gonna show you live.
Hey, where's the ticket? Where's the ticket?
I'm gonna show you the live. There it is.
There's the ticket.
$8,000 bet.
I see there plus 215. That's my
Yeah,
bet.
baby.
Yes, sir.
Woo!
Day 4 at the Win, I met Stephanie from Madrid. Good talking with you. Stephanie is awesome. She speaks 3 languages. She's traveled all over Europe and lived all over the place, and she had a lot of interesting stories, a lot of fun to talk with you. And to Anthony, who is from Singapore, is a blockchain engineer. We got to talk some crypto. He's new to the game, he's learning and getting out there and fighting for some chips. Good luck to you as you continue to grow your game. It was good to meet you. And also, I walked by one of my favorite YouTubers, Jamin Burton, and I'm on the phone, he's on the phone. We're both walking through the Win, and I start to flinch, like to say hi, like, hey, what's up? Like it's somebody that I know, and I realize this dude has no idea who I am. We're both on the phone. This is, I don't know, interesting interaction as I pass by him. Anyway, so then I went back, circled around, and found him in the poker room. Jamin, thanks for taking the time, man. It was cool to talk with you. Appreciate your advice. It was just good to meet you in person for the first time. After Vegas wraps up, I head out and meet my family at the Denver airport, and we go to basically near Pueblo in Colorado. My aunt and uncle have some acreage. It's kind of out of the city and out of ways, but beautiful spot, and we got to just spend time hanging out with extended family. What an awesome trip. We had a great time, and made the whole thing worth it. Getting clobbered in Vegas was a terrible feeling, but hanging out with family and spending some time together was fantastic. All right, all 419 of you fellow poker junkies, I know you didn't just come here to get philosophical and emotional and talk about who's in your life, but hey, we got to reevaluate once in a while and appreciate the people around us. Let's talk about this hand though, which was an interesting one from the Venetian. I am in early position and I get pocket nines. I make an open to $30 with $850 in my stack. Immediately to my left is Malik, who's been playing a solid game all night. I would say more on the tight aggressive side of things than anything else, and goes ahead and 3-bets me to $100. It folds around to the button. Malik covers me, by the way. He's got about $1,200 in his stack. Folds around to the button, who has $750 in his stack, and he goes ahead and just calls cold out of the button. Folds back to me, and now I have a decision of what to do. I decide I'm just going to make the call. What do you think? Right decision? Let me know in the comments below. I want to hear your thoughts on this whole hand because I walked away from this thing. I thought about it a bunch, and at the end went, I think I did okay, but could have played it different. All right, so pocket nines, we go to a flop. It comes down 8-7-4 rainbow. Okay, not bad. And I check. Malik now decides he's going to check as well. And I'm surprised by this. I'm expecting a lot of leads even from the overcards just because the flop is so dry and it favors his range pretty well. But you know, if he's going to make this play, I think he's going to make it often with unpaired overcards where he just wants to give himself a better chance to pair up and offer himself, you know, a better position because he has two opponents. So I'm going to give him a lot of the unpaired overcards when he does this. He's going to do this sometimes with like aces and kings just to be trappy and try to get some value from an aggressive player. So I can't rule out the pocket pairs, but I think he has a lot of overcards in this position. The button now decides to bet $325 when it's checked to him. Now again, this player's been very aggressive, not slightly aggressive, but very aggressive, playing lots of hands, and when he gets into them, he's been making a lot of big moves. Whether he has it or he doesn't, he's putting a lot of chips in the middle. So that is in my mind when it comes back to me. I think my opponent on the button here can have, here's the problem, he can have anything, right? He's been so aggressive and playing so wide that he can have anything. But I'm going to give him plenty of pocket pairs. I think he can have sets, but I also think he can have like a top pair. I think he can have even like an open-ender. He's got unpaired overcards. He just has a lot, and because he's so wide, he's gonna miss this flop more than he hits it. Yes, he'll have some sets. Yes, he'll have some cards that have us crushed, but I think this is a spot where I could decide to re-raise. All right, I think about this one for a long time and debate jamming. The problem is we're multi-way, and if I somehow get a call out of Malik, I'm in a lot of trouble. I'm gonna have a lot of nines through jacks, and then I'll have some sets, some 8s and 7s. When I jam, it's gonna look a lot like I had 8s or 7s, where I called, I raised, I called, and then now I'm gonna jam. That would make a lot of sense. I could have some two pairs. Again, my opponent has access to all these hands too. The tough thing is that those sets are only gonna show up at around 10% of the time. The two pairs, like, they're all gonna be very infrequent. And if by some chance Malik is slow playing an overpair, I don't know that I'm gonna get him off of it on this board. So I think about it for a long time. I decide ultimately on a fold, but I wanna hear what you guys think. I really debated jamming. I think I can get in a lot of trouble that way, and I think I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna take the low variance route. Yeah, curious what your thoughts are, because I'm not gonna jam this at a very high frequency, but I think this is one of those hands where I have an overpair to the board. I'm never calling 325, so it's a fold or a jam, and I kinda like the jam. I think it can work because I believe Malik is mostly gonna be folding with overcards to a jam. Now it comes down to, does my opponent have a set or two pair? And if they don't, well, I mean, they could have jacks or 10s too. So do they have one of those premium hands? Or since they're playing super wide and are unlikely to have made a big hand and are just trying to steal this thing, can I re-steal it from them? Anyway, interesting spot. I have no idea what's correct. I thought about this for a long time, still thought about it for a long time after I got away from the table. And ultimately I've decided that I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know how I'm supposed to play in that configuration. I end up folding, Malik ends up making the jam, and the opponent ends up folding on the button. Oh! So now I have to ask myself, did Malik slow play it or not? He tells me he had queens, which I believe him. He seemed sincere when he said it. If he did, the question is, would he have made the call? We talked about it for a long time, and he said it would have been really close. I would agree. That's a pretty sick spot to be with queens when you get a bet and then a jam all in, check raise all in. Pretty hard to call with an overpair, expecting that most of the time it's going to be a set or two pair. So I don't know, interesting spot. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. That's why I threw this one out there. Last time I put one of these videos out, you guys made a great suggestion and said, hey, let's have a Discord server that we can talk about all this stuff with. Great idea. I love it. So I'm going to be new. I've read through some Discord stuff. I've not hosted anything on Discord before. So this is going to be my first attempt at it, and it's going to be clunky. I'm sure I'll make some mistakes and you guys laugh at me and think like, this guy's an idiot, what's he doing? So show me a little bit of grace, but I'm going to try to figure this out. We'll put some hands on there and discuss some ones from these videos, but also if you have a hand, let's talk about it as a community. Let's bring our minds together, get better as poker players. I'm looking forward to talking a lot of poker on there with you guys. All right, guys, there it is. There's the hand laid out for you. I want to hear what you would do if you were in this spot. To me, it feels like an ugly spot where nothing feels great, and so I'm curious what you guys would do. Let me know, comments below, talk in the Discord, whatever you have. I want to hear from you. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time.